People tend to think that the most important thing when doing your parking at the exam is the style, meaning the car has to be perfectly straight, at the perfect distance from the lines, the sidewalk, and so on. While that is important to a certain degree, the most important at the exam are the safety maneuvers. There are mostly 4 things that are really important, and they all have to do with safety. First, you have to put the flasher to the side where you want to park while you're approaching your parking spot. Then, before backing up, you have to check the mirrors and blind spot. When you're backing up, look back with your head turned back instead of looking in the mirrors. And finally, never get too close to anything, a car, pedestrian, etc. Be extra careful not to hit what's behind you, in this case, that post. One of the most frequent and dangerous mistakes done by apprentice drivers is to swerve at the last second when coming to an obstacle. Stop completely behind the obstacle if there are vehicles on the lane where you want to go, or if you haven't had the time to make your verifications. Then, put your flasher, check the mirrors and blind spot, and when the coast is clear, you can go. A common error at the exams, and one for which you'll probably be tested, is what I call the impulsive green arrow. When the light turns green and you're not looking directly at it, a lot of times you're only watching it from the corner of your eye, then you see something green and you start turning. Make sure that you check to see if it's an arrow. If that's the case, wait for the normal green light, check to see if there are no pedestrians, and turn when you can. When you come to a stop sign, you have to stop completely before the white line, but make sure you don't stop too far behind. A little tip to know if you're at the right distance is when you don't see the line anymore. When the stop is for you only, you have to stop at the line and then advance so that you see far enough to both sides. Parked cars, trees, bushes, or any other obstacles may be blocking the view. Never cross the intersection if you're not absolutely sure that no vehicle is coming. Note that you have to look to both sides, even if there is no street to one or both sides, like in this case. Stops may also sometimes be hidden by trees, bus stops, and so on. In that case, search for a line on the asphalt when you approach the intersection, or for the rear side of a stop panel on the opposite side of the street. Don't forget to always check your blind spots before changing lanes, turning, and parking. If you do it before a turn while the car is moving, do it a little bit before the turn. If you do it before turning after being stopped, like after a stop or red light, do it before you start moving instead of doing it when you're already turning. Be extra careful with the blind spots when you're crossing a bicycle path when turning. Watch out for pedestrian crossings. Remember that the white ones are protected by a stop sign or a light, and the yellow ones are not. In this case, these panels can also hide pedestrians. You have to stop and give priority to pedestrians if there are any already on the crossing or about to go into it. When a bus wants to reintegrate the lane we're on after having stopped to pick up some passengers, you have to give it priority. Check to see if its flashers are on and if there are some cars parked in front of it in its lane. I hope you liked this video. Good luck for your exam.